Okay, so let's see how we're doing online as well. Good morning, Ariel. Can you hear me clearly? It's Lon. Let's see what comes into the live chat. Yes?
Yes.
Might be. Hi, Nico. So you can hear me? Great. That's a good morning, meaning a yes? Yeah, great. Excellent. Okay, so uh, we're just getting set up, and as always, there is tech time, tech talk. I've, I'm sure Shadi, is it Shadi or Shadi? Shadi, so the stress on the first syllable. I'm sure you understand the term never let a good crisis go to waste. As a executive producer, the technical challenge of getting this room built over the years has been such that I've learned that the technical complexity is such that there's always a problem. And so what I've done over time is I've understood that that's just a teaching uh, a moment for students to watch me deal with technical complexity, because that's very much what leadership is all about, is dealing with complexity. And so I have this part at the beginning of every class that I've put into the class plan, which is tech talk or tech time. Just spending a few minutes dealing with all of this to get it set up, because if your tech doesn't work, things fall apart. If you go on, you're shooting a film, whatever, and the camera's not editing, whatever, you have to make sure it works. Anyway, so okay, good. Well, we're really looking good. We're starting a little late this morning. My apologies, but that's just the way it goes in this room. There's a lot happening with other professors here, and it requires us to set up a little bit. But I think that we can actually jump into things very shortly. And I'm just going to check um, my notes here. But good, we have RJ, right? RJ's here. Okay, so I'm doing the sort of attendance or who's on board quickly. RJ, Kellyanne, of course, Vicky is here. Jose Miguel, welcome. An asynchronous student who has now become an in-person student. Is it, you're going to be, hopefully, okay, yeah. And um, we we like transmutation in this class, which is week to week people change. We don't know what form they're going to come in, live, online, recording. But anyways, Jose Miguel's here. Of course, Sue Young has just come in. Yeah, great. And Daniel's here. So we have a really nice, smallish group of in-person students, which means we can have a good discussion. And then in the cosmos, in outer space, let's see what we have there. I often, Shadi, call this the cosmos because, well, you can see there's Earth, and then on the right, there are all these little planets out there in the solar system, the icons. This is our own video conferencing system that we're building here with a company in Waterloo called Toria. So Ariel is somewhere, but she's live. Augustine, Edward Lamb, Fupeng, Nico, of course, Peta, Shauna, and VD are here, and they probably will remain sort of on their planets, but then we might bring them in with their video and audio, depending on how things go. And then there are all the other classmates. I think there are something like 50 or so students registered in this course who will be watching the recording. So welcome, everybody. I think we can get going at last. And are we okay there too? Yeah, good. I would like to jump right into it, okay, because we're kind of 15 minutes already into the class, and I want to make sure Shadi will be able to get back to Toronto. Did you come from?
No, I came from Oakville.
From so that's even further.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So here is the way things are going to work today. As you know, last week we launched a little two-part module in Global Leader that's all about this wonderful movie called Peace by Chocolate that Shadi Dali is the executive producer of. Now, you need to all understand something about what an executive producer is and why he or she is so important in the process. This is the person who is the ultimate leader of the whole enterprise, the whole motion picture. Okay, so you may have wondered at times what executive producers do, and on big Hollywood movies, you might see a whole list of executive producers because they're all trying to, show that they're part of the leadership. But usually, it comes down to who's providing the most money. That's who gets the big credit. Okay, so um, what's really important to understand about today is that we're going to have a really good discussion with Shadi about the film, about the issues in it, and ultimately about global leadership, which is what this class is all about. So can we just give him a warm hand and welcome him for, driving all the way in from Oakville? And there's a lot that I wanted to say, but I'm going to wait until later because we're running a little bit late. I really want to get right into things. I'm going to assume that everything is working technically and everything's good. So before we bring Shadi into our discussion, I want him to know that in our class folder today is the full movie that I've purchased on YouTube that we all watched last week. And so we're in a position today that if you want to show any scenes or we refer to any scenes, we can just go straight to it, watch the scenes, because there's some very good scenes in the film. I have my personal favorite, and we can talk about them, and Maureen can show them. And for all the students watching the recordings, we will try and provide the time code so that when you're shuttling at home later, you know where to go. But everybody will be able to access on their own the high definition YouTube version. Yeah.
Nice.
So I think we should just start. And I just want to remind all of you, this is a class about global leadership. It's not a class about filmmaking. It's not about production, but that's all part of it today. Because an executive producer has to wear many different hats in the course of producing a motion picture. And a motion picture is like a little village or a little city. Or if you've looked at credits for big Hollywood movies, it's almost like a small country in terms of the number of people that are involved. And it's Shadi's job to manage all of that. From a production standpoint, from a creative standpoint, from all the hard decisions that have to be made around money, too. He's the one. So he has to wear many hats. I know about this because I've done this myself as an executive producer of television documentary series when I had a company. So you're going to learn a lot about leadership from him. And so I think that before we go to any questions, some of you may have questions immediately. Not everyone will have watched the film, Shadi, but most have. I would like him to speak. He may have something he wants to say right now. If not, I have questions to help you. The only thing I would say is make sure it's karaoke, okay? And
got it.
then they can hear you clearly.
Got it. Yeah,
Welcome,
just
Shadi, to the
yeah,
Global
thank
Classroom. Yeah.
yeah, thank you very much for having me, guys. And yeah, you sounds man like I
Turn
did.
around a little bit so you can see Daniel and Sue Young. You can kind of, I'll push you so you can make sure we can. I didn't
Yeah.
set it up. And there we go. Okay, good.
You
Just
sound-
know that he's there.
I know.
Yeah, everybody. Okay,
You
good.
sound you sound like I did a lot for this movie, but it's not me. The other guys, they did like Jonathan, the whole crew. They did like a brilliant job. Like you said, there is lots to do when you want to do a movie like that, and the most important thing is the story itself. Um, like when Jonathan just approached me through a friend who's like a celebrity in the Middle East. He just called me and he told me, I want to introduce you to Jonathan, and he have a really nice movie idea, like if you want to be part of it. And then Jonathan was telling me about the family and had family and what's uh, like how's the story and what
Yes.
did he sign already like the rights to do the film. And then and because of my background, I'm from Syria originally, and
Yes.
they are from Syria. And because I'm in Canada, and because he was talking, Jonathan, he lives in LA. So
He's the director.
he's
He's the
the
director.
director. Yeah,
Usually, a director has to find a producer
yeah,
to help fund the project.
yes,
Okay?
yes.
So that's how the system works. Yeah. Go ahead.
So and then yeah, and then Jonathan told me, and this is the story, and these guys they live in Antigonish. And then I said, okay, I have to go there just to get inspired. And then I went to Halifax, and I drove for 2 hours to Antigonish.
Mhm.
Like after 1 hour of driving, like there was only me going that way. Like I felt like, where's the? There's no cars and no one is driving. And and I reached there, and I went to before I reached early, I think by like 30 minutes. Then I said, let me pass by to Tim Horton to get the coffee.
Uh-huh.
And when I went in, like everybody was looking at me like, who's this guy coming to this town? Because there is only 5,000 people live in Antigonish. So everybody knows everybody. Like
Yeah.
there are. And I reached to Tariq and Isam. Isam is the father, Tariq is the son.
Yeah.
And I asked them like, guys, how did you make it here? Like it's this place is like nowhere.
Part of the film.
Yeah.
Part of the, yeah.
And yeah, so they told me it's like by hard work, like from the day they arrived. Like there is some scenes in the movie you saw it is real 100%, where the father, when they told him that the government will give him money to live in, and he said, no, we will not take money from anyone. And this is Isam, like
Yeah.
uh, this is his personality. So he said, I don't want to take money from anyone. I just want to work and do my. And this is what he did. And he worked really hard. And of course, with the help of the uh, great Antigonish Canadians, people, they are really great people. I met lots of them in person. Paul, and which is Mark Camacho, played that role. Uh, yeah. So and then I said I'm in, like fully in, like whatever guys you need, I'm ready. So yeah.
You had to see it. You had to see it for
Yeah.
yourself. You had to go
Yes,
there,
yes,
and
yes.
then, so there's a lot to unpack in this class today with you, and I want to just make sure that everybody has a chance to ask anything they like. But we are so privileged to have a person who's not only humble, as he's just well, you've already started talking about the director. Some producers don't talk about the director so quickly. It's all about the producer first, but he, has given credit where credit's due. But we have him as a leader, but we have the story, the wonderful story that we can explore. But then we're moving in any global leader class to some big, difficult issues that you have to be able to deal with as a global leader in a global world that's very complex. And I'm going to put it right out there today to make sure everybody understands. We're going to be talking about peace too, which means we might have to talk about war. Now, we'll wait until we get there because that's a very difficult topic. And I suspect that Shadi has some things to say about life back in Syria. He may have even personally witnessed some things, but certainly Tariq had. And that's what led the family to come here. So just be ready of where this could go. But first, let's just see. Question, come on in, and I'll just grab a seat. Who would like to ask anything? I can be trusted to take the conversation to where it needs to go in a global leader class. But why don't we start with Vicky, as always, and you should know about this young woman, just very briefly. Everybody here has something special to add, but this is a person who's been an activist in her own way to bring attention and real change to people with learning disabilities, and she speaks from experience. She couldn't write or read until she was
6 years ago.
16. What's that?
I couldn't write or read 6 years ago.
6 years ago, and
I was
she.
completely illiterate.
So there are students in this class that are pretty remarkable in what they overcome. So you don't have to tell them all that, but you can if you want. But we're going to go around and go ahead, Vicky.
I found like when you said like where the father said illiterate, I actually related to that. I was like that actually hit home for me because I was like going, wow. I'm like I can relate. I never actually pictured somebody like I mean after being that being said, I was like, wow. I'm like other people from other countries, yeah, are illiterate because they can't speak English. You know what I mean? And
Good point.
he was saying like he's still learning English and stuff, and how like and all the people here are still learning English. And I'm like, I've lived in Canada my entire life, and I'm still having a hard time learning and stuff. Like when the father said that, like that really hit home when I heard that. It genuinely hit home and stuff. And then another statement. I'm curious, when the father was being taught how to shovel, did he actually like put the shovel like was that like a part of the scene or do you just throw it in there just like I found it was interesting going he's gonna hit him in the face. I was like hoping for it and then like he was panicked because he thought he was gonna get reprimanded and I never thought something like tiny as that in Canada you wouldn't get in trouble for it, you just laugh. And then in that country you go back going yeah that makes sense that where they would think that they would get in trouble because it was something little. I was like, it was surprising.
Yeah, I think people like when they are coming like maybe that scene didn't happen actually,
Yeah.
but you know like most of the stuff like people they are coming from outside like here it's in Canada it's totally different from the Middle East. They've been living in Lebanon and when they reach here like everything was new like anything even like the way they the way we do business here even is totally different from the other area of the world. I used to live in Kuwait, which is the Gulf region. Of course, my I have a company. We do exactly the same of this business. So we build these like video walls and these.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so that's why I'm really familiar with the. So I mean, like there we do business is totally different than U.S. and Canada. This part of the world is totally different than there. So I think, yeah, by and like everything was new to these guys. Like, and the good thing about the movie that is like I think there's here like two success stories. Not only the had family,
Yeah.
the movie itself and making it, it was a
The chalk
success
business.
story. Not for me. Like
Yeah.
again, it's not that the guys, all of them, they work there in that movie. They were really brilliant. I want to bring attention to the late Hatem Ali, who played Isam.
Father?
Isam, the father.
Yeah.
The late Hatem Ali, he's like, if you Google him, he's like the number one director in the Middle East
Wow.
by far. Like anyone you ask them there in the Middle East, they know Hatem Ali and who is that guy is. Hatem Ali, he did lots of series in the Middle East. Like whenever there is like big budget series, they call Hatem Ali. He did Omar bin al-Khattab, which is like the budget was like around like 30 million. 30 million for the Middle East is a lot. This is the biggest budget for
30
a
million
series.
US?
US,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's-
It's even a lot of money here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Oh,
more than
but
Peace by Chocolate.
yeah.
was, right?
of course. So the late Hatem Ali, he was like a director. He didn't. He act when he started his career. He act in many series, and he wasn't planning to act. But I convinced him. Hatem, he doesn't know English at all. Like he doesn't like. If you tell him hi, he will start panicking. Like, okay,
Wow.
what's the next? So, but I told him like we need you in this movie, and please, I want you to be as an actor, not as a director, because it's really difficult to direct where everybody's speaking English and other languages. And he said, "Yeah, yeah, I'm in." And because also again because his background was from Syria, he was living in Quebec.
Wow.
So I asked him for that, and he said yes. Yara Sabri, she doesn't know also English, uh, and she played the mother
Yeah.
there. And also we shoot this movie in Montreal, where all the crew they were speaking French. So Jonathan speak only English. The crew speak French, and these guys, the actors, they speak only Arabic.
Wow.
So it was a challenging, and these guys they
Multilingual charade.
managed to. But of course, again, Jonathan he didn't knew the crew. So my part in this movie, other than investing the money, I told Jonathan that I can bring the crew and the Syrian family. Just leave it to me. He said, sometimes director they just like hesitate. Like he said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Don't worry, I'll bring you the best people." And then I spoke to Hatem. I spoke to Yara. Yara also, she's like from A class stars in the Middle East. She was like also living in Quebec. Najla Al Khamri, also the sister, she's really good actor, also in the Middle East. Uh, and I am Abu Ammar, who played Tariq. He's like new, totally new
He's
to
very good, too.
acting. Yeah,
The acting
he
was,
won. He
you know.
won. He won best actors in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in some-
absolutely.
and so the guys. So when Jonathan saw these guys like acting, like he was like, "Wow!" Like, I can't like say a word. Like these guys, they just like maybe the scene of the shovel, it was
Yeah.
there, but Hatem acting was like adding to that
Yeah,
scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's all challenges, like all.
Well, it's great to be able to speak with you in this way where you can really, in a comfortable way, share your experiences and how you were putting this together. Because I want to remind all of you, I'll keep bringing it back to the leadership, global leadership part, so we stay on focus. But keep thinking about what you would like to say, okay? But just think about for a moment what Shadi just said about the challenges he's dealing with. That he last week, remember we talked about trust.
Yeah.
Well, think of Shadi says to the director. This is the executive producer saying to the director, "Leave it with me. I will bring you the crew. Don't worry." And the
That's a lot.
director has to trust that. And then Shadi has to deliver. His word means everything at this point. So just I'll point these things out to all of you as we go, okay? And then maybe at the end today, we'll put together a list of Shadi's tips, on leadership, and we'll put that on the board, okay? So, but let's keep going. Vicky, thanks. Daniel, you want to talk? We'll go around and go ahead, Daniel.
I really want to say thank you for the opportunity to meet you here and considering how far you've come. and the background you came from, I was actually thinking that what actually inspired you to go into movie production, and also knowing fully aware that you didn't really start here in Canada. So how did you actually break the hurdles? And
Yeah. So as I mentioned, this is not my like day to day like business. I don't live because like out of the movie production thing.
Yes.
So I am a businessman. I do like lots of businesses. I have business in Kuwait and US and here in Canada, and different type of businesses, not movie production. And but I have lots of like celebrities, friends in the Middle East. Like I mentioned, one of them, his name is Qusay Khouli. He's like an A star. He's like Brad Pitt in the Middle East actor. Sorry, Qusay, I'm saying this, but you are better than Brad. And he introduced me to Jonathan. Qusay was I was living in California for a bit, for like maybe 3 4 years, and me and Qusay we like been together for because he was living there also. And then he told me that, like, why you don't go into a movie production? And I said, like, I don't like I want the right. Let's say I was waiting for the right time,
Mm.
and then he said, like, what about this story? What about this story? And I wasn't like inspired. And like I said, when Jonathan called me and he was telling me about the story, so I felt like there is a magical mixture there. There is there is a chocolate, and, and there is love. Uh, there is success, and also there is Canada and the people in Canada. I love the people here. I when I came, I personally lots of people they help me even when I'm building the business here. So and the help, it's not all the time like with money, or like it is um, like these people like emotionally, like when I was like in a time like I don't know, yeah, emotional support, it was more important to me than anything else, because I was moving from a country just with my family and just we want to live here, so we want like people around us just to let us feel welcomed. My neighbors in Oakville, they are really great. And yeah, they helped that transition between other country and here. So yeah, I think this is what inspired me. Yeah.
And the experience of the
Haddad.
Haddad family is similar to what you were also experiencing in Oakville
Yeah, I
in
bet.
terms of the community.
Yeah.
Although there are conflicts in Antigonish with the
Yeah.
community, but that
Yeah.
was, but
Of course,
nonetheless.
of course, yeah. Yeah, the Haddad family, I don't think that I can like compare my the hardship
Yeah.
they found,
Yeah.
like during living in Lebanon, and when they come here, it's not even I can't compare myself to them. They had really hard
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
to come here, and uh, yeah, and even building a business is not easy, and it's not and that success, I know there is lots of there is maybe luck in the business when you're building a business, but it's, let's say it is only a 50%, but the other 50% you have to do it like totally, like you can't do from the other 50 just 10% and then say, okay, now I'm waiting for the luck.
Right.
So
No.
so these guys, they did it all. The chocolate was delicious. They knew what they are doing, and when and of course the luck comes, and and the hard work people, the people they help them there. So yeah.
Well, let me just, as we keep going, remind you as well of something Shadi has just said, was that he wasn't inspired until this story came along. A leader has to be married to his project. It is like a marriage because you're the one, remember I told you last week, who cares the most. You're the one who shoulders the most responsibility in the end, financially, creatively, everything. You're the one who's has to lead this. If you're not inspired by what you're working on, maybe you should look for something else. Or maybe you should remember that if you're going to invest yourself to the extent that you have to, the kind of work that's involved and responsibility, you have to love it. And if you don't love it, then I don't think you're going to be able to work as hard as you need to. Right? It's easier to work hard when your heart and soul is in it. When it's not, you'll make excuses for why you have to be somewhere else. So, anyways, let's keep going, okay? Sue Young, is there anything you want to say at this point? Jose Miguel, go to Kellyanne, RJ, others. Let's get, do you want to hand him a microphone? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Third. Yeah. Oh, he's got, yeah. Good. Go ahead, Sue Young. Yeah, and then
I'm
we'll.
still checking out the film at the moment. I missed the last week. So.
Okay, well then, let's keep listen to the conversation, okay?
Okay.
And then we'll fill it in for you. I want to make sure that those who've watched it and seen it or are familiar with it go first because they're familiar with the material. So, Kellyanne, definitely, did you watch the whole film? Or, what's that? You have a question? Okay, hold on 2 seconds. Anybody online right now in the cosmos, did any of you watch the whole film for this class? Maybe not, but I want to check and make sure because there was a group here that came, but some came from elsewhere on campus to watch the film. So I'm going to assume right now, rightly or wrongly, but correct me, that only Vicky, Daniel, myself, Maureen, because not all of you were here last week. Okay. Okay, I've watched it on your own. Fair enough. I can fill in. Okay. The more important thing right now is that you have a chance to interact with a person like Shadi who's here and given his time. Okay. So let's come back then to Sue Young. Okay, Sue Young, because you're not alone. Most people didn't. Okay. So let's bring the microphone back to Sue Young. Okay, and make sure we have here an executive producer. We have here a business leader. We have here an immigrant. We have, a person who can speak to leadership in so many capacities. Soo Young, go ahead. Do you want to say something? Ask anything?
Sorry, I don't know what to ask.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just checking. Jose Miguel, go ahead. That's okay. Go ahead.
Yes, I see lots of discipline and commitment in your project. Do you think discipline is more important than motivation?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part. You said what?
Yeah, I see lots of discipline. in your-
Discipline.
Discipline.
Lots of discipline.
Discipline.
Yes.
In your project. Do you believe discipline is more important than motivation?
That's a good question. I don't know. Like in my discipline is, I think it's number one, and it is more important than motivation. Because sometimes I don't know. I feel like even if you are motivated to do something, down the road, like you feel there is some obstacles, like there is some stuff just will let you think about something else. So the motivation is not there as the first thing that you are thinking about. But discipline is really important because you have to wake up every day and you know that I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and just continue. So 100% is discipline for me, I don't know. It's more important than motivation, and this is and it happens with me. Like I said, I I did many businesses. Let's say I had 3 projects. I did it, and it took like a year or more for me, and it didn't succeed. And when I go back and just think why this business didn't succeed with me, and because of the discipline, I didn't like, okay, now I'm working on it, and I say, okay, let me continue, and then something else come up, which is I feel, oh, this business will make me more money than this business, so let me just go to that, and that's why I stopped like there. I just like, okay, start. I wasn't giving like 100% to that business. It's just like, okay, now just let me give like 5%, 10%, 20. Just let me put someone to manage it, and it ended up failing because I didn't. Yeah, this plant is for sure is number one.
I want to thank Jose Miguel. Stick to this. We're now on the best part of this class,
Yeah.
okay, which is the kinds of skills and techniques they can learn from you, who is a kind of master. Okay, and I'm learning too about your business background, which I didn't know. So there's a lot more you can bring to this. So it's not just about Peace by Chocolate; it's the bigger issue of leadership. So are you're good with going there and wherever because very good. Now let me just remind everybody of what just got put up on the board. You just heard from an accomplished global leader that discipline is more important than motivation. Let that sink into your bones for a moment. And the reason he said that, if I heard it correctly, is your projects are going to take longer than you think. You are going to fail again and again and again. And you're going to have to pick yourself up. You're going to have to deal with problems. It's very complex. Motivation will only take you so far. At a certain point, you got to get up and deal with problems when you don't feel like it. And it hurts. And it's tough. Right? In a way? Okay. So it's great that you've asked this, Jose Miguel. Is there anything else you want to ask about the leadership part as we continue to go? And I'll put notes up here that I think are important. And we sort of started on Shadi's tips here, okay? If anything I write here, Shadi, is inaccurate, just tell me and I will rub it off, okay, with my hand. So, Jose, is there anything else you want to address?
No, I don't have any more questions. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Great. Let's
you.
keep Kellyanne now. Go ahead. Yeah.
I think it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
Apart from language barrier, what are some of the difficulties you face during the production of the movie?
Okay. So yeah, during the shooting the film, like I said, like when we went to Montreal, of course, these movies, like usually, like when you see like big movies and stuff, it takes like uh, only a month or two just to shoot the movie. There is like lots of preparation before that. So Jonathan and the team, they were working for like maybe more than a year just to prepare for the shooting, and then we start shooting. The shooting just take 20 days. But on site, like I said, the challenges and the difficulties there was the language, because the communication was not like it wasn't easy, and also of course there is challenges we faced uh, with the budget. We had to have like a certain amount. They told me that this is the money we need, and then we end up like we need more money to continue. And but the issue is the big thing that we faced, it was the corona times, because we shoot the movie in January 2020. We finished shooting the movie, but of course after shooting the movie there's there's lots of things we have to do it just to get this ready for the people to start watching it. So, and then the corona comes in March 2020, so we had to stop like lots of things. Like we stopped for a year.
For a year.
Yeah,
For a full year.
yeah.
So the pandemic
Pandemic,
stopped
yeah,
you for a year.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. And
Okay.
then we had to launch, like, because the movie, like, you can't, because the movie supposed to come out in 2020 and we stopped till 2021. We said, okay, now we have to uh, to screen the movie, like, and we start contacting the festivals. So usually this movie, we start with the festivals and then we go from there. The first festival we went in, I think it was Tribeca in US, and then like we did all these festivals. Like we participate in more than 25 festivals around the world, and we won like 13 awards. Yeah,
A lot of challenges.
yeah, lots of challenges.
I think that, again, this is excellent. When you get onto the production process of something, of a film, you really start to understand leadership, because the production process is long and it's complex. And even if there's not a pandemic, there are going to be other problems that can delay production. So, and Shadi is really the only one who can speak to this part. The director and others, they're dealing with the creative end of filming the scenes and getting the movie made. But Shadi is doing that. Plus, he has to deal with the bigger machine of getting this production done. So this is a really helpful way of understanding leadership when you talk about production of a motion picture. Okay, so let's keep this moving. I think we're starting to find our little sort of sweet spot today for this class. Usually it takes a little while, Shadi, to figure out, because all sorts of issues come up. If you want to stand and move around, you're welcome to it, okay? We can push this stool. Do you want to, or are you okay?
No,
Stephen?
no, I'm okay.
You okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
So let's make sure everybody's got a chance. I'm putting some key tips up already, so we won't have to do this at the end. We're just going to spend the class interacting with Shadi, and I'll get the notes. Kellyanne, anything else you want to
I have a quick question.
keep going? Okay.
Now for the language barrier, because for me, English is not my first language. I speak French. I'm just like trying to learn English all the time.
Okay.
During the production of the movie, how did you did to overcome that for the language barrier? Since most of the actor was not speaking English. If I
Yeah.
can say like that.
So yeah,
English, French, Arabic.
I know.
You know.
Yeah, so I was there, like, not all the time, but like there is some people who speak like English and Arabic. They don't know French. Okay, there is another person who speak French and English, and then we start communicating there in the on the site. So yeah, it was challenging, and also what was also challenging and helpful for Jonathan, the director, because Hatem, he's like a director, like
He wants to tell Jonathan what to do.
yeah,
Sure.
and then and of course, and he knows when to cut, like
He knows where to cut, yeah.
where to cut.
Yeah.
So he know, like he's shooting any scene, like you can see, like Hatem felt like, oh no, so let's redo. And then Jonathan told him, man, just take it easy. I'll say when to cut.
Only one director
Yeah.
is usually allowed on the set, right? When you get, but anyways, it's
Yeah, but
that's
it was a
deal with
helpful.
these conflicts, these
Yeah,
potential conflicts. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it is. But it was a helpful. Also, his comments after that, after we finished shooting, like when and he saw the film for the first time, Hatem, and then he told me like, should we do 1, 2, 3? Can you tell Jonathan if he wanted to do that? And yeah, some of the Hatem ideas works, and
Yeah.
Jonathan changed it, and some didn't. And I think
Hmm.
the things that Jonathan didn't change works somehow, and it helps like the
But you had to manage.
film.
But if I'm correct, you had to manage this. You're sort of that Jonathan, the director, is saying, "Could you speak this time to Hatim and tell him?" So you're the one who has to convey this information back to.
Yeah, back and forth. Yeah, yeah.
So
So
you're
I
the back.
did.
You're in
Yeah.
you're in the middle,
Yeah, yeah.
dealing with a headstrong, and all directors have to be a bit headstrong. They're the captain of the ship when you get out onto a set. Okay, but then you've got this incredible Hatim Ali, a star director from the Middle East who's acting, taking direction now, and he has his own and he's the one who has to manage this little bit of conflict. Think about this, guys. It doesn't matter if this is a motion picture or this is a business or this is a group activity that you're doing for Global Leader at Durham College. You will be the one as the leader who has to be in the middle dealing with people who have conflicts, and you have to resolve it. How are you going to do that? And the languages may be different. So, there's a lot of really great teachable moments here about this. Please go. So how did you do
Yeah,
it?
I wanna talk about also Tariq and the challenges he faces when he arrived here. Uh, Tariq, he knows English, but his English wasn't that good. And I don't know if do you follow Tariq on Instagram, or do you follow him or no? Tariq had. Yeah, just follow him and just see Tariq. He's like now one of the top speakers in Canada. Like he do,
Yeah.
I think per week he do like 2 to 3 um, conferences. He's like so when he arrives, he told me that because lots of attention comes to the family and stuff, especially when Prime Minister Justin Trudeau mentioned them in the United Nations. Lots of people, they just come and just want to talk to Tariq, and just like lots of interviews and stuff. And his English, of course, was like my English now, and it wasn't like perfect and stuff. So, and then he told me that I went to a library and just like I locked myself down for like 2 to 3 months, just like learning English. I just want to speak fluently because I had to talk to these people, just answer their questions about ourselves. And so he had to do like, I don't know, intensive yeah, English like courses and stuff within like I think 2 or 3 months, and then he become like good. So just follow him, and he's really Tariq is inspiring lots of people in Canada now, and yeah, I think, and that's why I think. Our prime minister just mentioning him over and over in many occasions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's given a credit at the end too. Didn't he redo a scene for you?
What?
Did he redo a scene? Did he do a scene for the film, or was it taken from one of his press conferences, or did he actually agree to redo something for? No. Oh, okay. I thought maybe
So
he did.
regarding, yeah, there is lots of things in the movie that didn't happen.
Yes.
Like like he didn't get accepted in the medical school. He didn't. So this was part of the drama.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
This happens when you're doing a film. So he never was accepted at all
No,
into
no.
medical school. Very interesting. I wonder if he had. whether he would have chosen to go into the business the way he did, or
You never know.
we don't know.
We don't
Okay.
know. Yeah.
Now, could we just stop for a second and just quickly review and understand what would you say is the critical quality that Shadi just addressed in terms of locking yourself into the library?
Perseverance.
What's that?
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
That's right.
Do you remember when I said imagination, courage, perseverance? Right? I even used the word at one point, doggedness. Got to be like a dog with a bone. What's that, Daniel? Consistency. But are you ready to work that hard for something? Are you married to it? Do you love it? Are you ready to lock yourself in a library until you can come out and succeed the way you want it? Like this is gold in terms of understanding the qualities you need to lead. Yeah, Jose?
Even resilience.
Resilience? Exactly. So just remember perseverance and resilience, and keep going in terms of questions, or we can move the microphone around. Do you want to say anything else, Kellyanne? Okay, Vicky, go ahead, and we'll come back here. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. So I'm a bit curious. So during like COVID, I suppose like a lot of things you collaborate about has to be like going on online.
Yeah, during COVID, like the festival, like we screened the movie in Tribeca Festival in US, and it was online. Yeah, we did lots of things online during that, like during the pandemic, but it wasn't pleasant. And like this business, or this like the film industry doesn't work like online. Like you have to be there, you have to go to cinemas, you have to watch the movie. So and I remember we went to Egypt to screen the movie also in Cairo Festival, and Jonathan came there, and there the pandemic, the restrictions wasn't like here in Canada, so it was easier. So we went there and we interact. People, they came to the cinemas, they watched the movie, but yeah, I think and it draw lots of attention also to the movie in the Middle East, because Hatem Ali, the main actor, the one I told you about, he passed away end of 2020, which is December 2020. And before we launched the movie, and that's why it drew lots of attention in the Middle East, because they want to see, lots of people, they want to see Hatem Ali in the last scene. And it was good because this was his last thing he did in his career. Like even in, like, he didn't do anything after that, and the people and he didn't act since long time, so people, they were like happy because they are seeing Hatem. Uh, and yeah, it was a challenging time.
So the production was finished before the COVID.
No,
They had to suspend for 1 year.
yeah,
1 year.
but we worked like just to do some production, but shooting the movie, it finished by January. But we worked during the pandemic, because the pandemic took like 2 years, I think. Yeah. So we worked during the pandemic for the production, post production, like lots of things we did it during the pandemic. Yeah.
And sorry, last question.
No problem.
I believe a lot of communication you have also has to go through online channels.
Yeah, it was online challenge. Like even like I said, the big challenge was like doing that. Screening the movies in the festivals, because there's judges, there's lots, and everybody have to to watch the movie online, and they have to buy it online.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, so when you go through online channels, do you like use like email and have to translate it through like 3 languages because all the people on your team speak?
No, there is subtitles. Like we put the subtitles in Arabic for the Middle East region, and we did the one for in French for the region in Montreal.
I mean, when the team members communicate with each other.
In different languages. That's what you're asking.
Yeah, yeah,
Good point.
yeah.
do it.
Yeah, the team member, like actually, like once we finished the uh, the shooting, it was only one language, which is English, because Jonathan was working and he chose most of the people like they speak English, like of
Yes.
course, but even the composer, I think he was in Germany, but he was also he speaks English and he's Canadian. So yeah. So after shooting the movie, so the difficulties of the language issue was only during shooting, but not after.
Okay, thank you.
It had to be, but it had to be English in the end as one language that everyone could work with. Let's stop for a minute and put something up on the big dashboard over here. Mayreem, can we go to the DC Connect folder and just click on the full movie, and we're going to run it silent, okay? Because we can talk about it. And in the background, if you go to the Class 7 folder, everybody who's online right now, so Class 7, you will see a Piece by Chocolate full movie, but you will not, I don't think you will be able to see it right now on your own, only on my computer, because I've bought it. Okay, so you're going to have to look at the video wall like everybody else. So all of the students online right now, just watch what we're watching, okay? And we're going to keep it silent, and we're going to continue on with Jadi talking about the film as well. And we might, depending on time, actually bring up the audio and watch a scene or two together. But we don't have a lot of time. We only have about 20 minutes, 25 minutes left. And there's a lot still, I think, we can talk to Shadi about. So great. So we have that up there. And VD and Ariel, can you clearly see the film running silently on the dashboard behind us? Let's just make sure. Just put yes,
Yes.
or no. Great. Okay, good, VD. So we have that there. So that's all working. So we're going to come to Vicky in a moment, but I want to make sure that everybody here has a chance. Is there anything that you'd like to say or ask, or you're okay? And how about online right now? Is there anybody who is would like to jump on their microphone, ask a question? You don't need to share your video at this point, but just jump on your microphone. Let's see. Or put your question in the live chat, and we'll take it up with Shadi here, okay? So let's see. Anybody in the cosmos? I'll give you 5, 6 seconds. Jump on your microphone. Any questions?
I guess my question would be, after doing
Put
this
them in the live
movie,
chat, and we'll come back to in person, and we'll keep going. Okay. So, RJ, any questions? Anything you want to, gentlemen over here? Okay. So we have right now. Usually, this is what happens. There's a little bit of a nucleus forming of the ones who are talking. Okay. Others are listening, and that's okay. We have Daniel. We have Su Young. We have Jose Miguel, we have Vicky, and of course we have Kellyanne. So let's take the microphone back to Vicky, okay, and see. And remember, there's a big issue that I'm going to bring us to in a moment, which is that issue of peace. In Piece by Chocolate.
My question actually involves Piece by Chocolate.
Okay, so let's, but whatever you want to know, I will extract from this the critical qualities around leadership that we can discuss. and we'll come to Ariel's question. Go ahead, Vicky.
The name Peace by Chocolate is actually quite clever because I was actually originally trying to find it on I was actually spelling peace like like a piece of chocolate, not realizing it's peace like humanity peace. Like it's quite clever. It's play on words. Like it's clever, very clever.
This is totally a Hadad family. Thing.
Yeah, I assumed. I'm like, I
Yeah.
assumed that was already the name, but I'm
Yeah.
like, that's just brilliant.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Great marketing.
Yeah.
Really great marketing.
Yeah, it helps them a lot. Like even when they are doing their marketing now, and now Peace by Chocolate. Let's talk about their business, selling chocolate. Of course, Tariq can speak more about it. But now they are doing lots of like any catastrophe happening in the world, and there is lots of refugees. Canada now, when they are delivering there, they deliver the chocolate as like part of their like contribution with the people. Like they like in what happened in Ukraine. I
Yeah.
remember I was with Tarek in Dubai, and then I think it was the immigration minister spoke to him, and he told him, "See, now we are handing over the chocolate for the soldiers, the Canadian soldiers who's helping there, and or to the I think to the refugees there. I don't know, I don't remember, but now Canada, the Canadian government, they are handing the chocolate to the buying from them, of course, and just hand it over to the in other countries. Uh, from the movie part, like now the Canadian embassies overseas, they are screening the movie as part of the, let's say, the marketing for the immigration to
Sure.
Canada.
Sure.
So I was in Kuwait in last June, June 23. We screened the movie in partnership with the UN um, uh, and the Canadian Embassy in Kuwait. And it was a successful screening. So all the embassies now, they are using the movie as part of their immigration tools, let's say. Yeah.
Very good. Hold on a sec. Anything else, Daniel, Suyan, Jose, Vicky? Keep going, okay? And then we're going to bring this. I will help to bring it to the sort of bigger issues here. And if there's anything you think we're missing in this discussion about leadership and what you think people should know, then we'll address that at the end, okay? But go ahead, Vicky.
Oh, Daniel has his hand up. Daniel, do you want to say something?
Yeah, grab a microphone. Do you have, give him the microphone. Yeah, okay, sure. Go ahead. Good question. And it also relates to what Ariel's asked in the live chat. Will you be doing another movie after this? So what's next, or where does this lead to? Go ahead.
So so after we did this, like I got like through social media, lots of people are just sharing their stories and just telling me, I had a good story, I had a good story. It just yeah, and I think my story can be a movie. And but I'm looking like for an inspiring and something big to do it next. I think now we are like I'm working on something. I hope it will be like good and nice. Like it's big, of course.
Can you? What can you tell us? We don't want you to tell us.
Yeah, it
can't
is
tell
the
us,
most.
Can you tell us?
I consider it as the most success story in the human history, and this is what I'm working for. That's what I can say.
Well, wait a
now.
minute. You say something like that,
Yeah.
Now, can we? co- What is it?
No, yeah,
You can't say.
yeah, I can't say
Here's
because
the
I
journalist
just
in
want to
me.
finish.
You got me as a journalist now,
Yeah.
going. Wait a minute, he's pulled me in. Okay, now I'm like a dog with the bone. Okay, so you're working on something that you're inspired by again.
No, it's not inspired. Like I'm, yeah, it
You
is.
love it.
Let's
You,
say I love it.
but wait a minute, you love what you're, whatever it is. This is it a film? It's a film.
It's a film. Yeah.
So you, um, but it's consistent with what you said, which is you have to be inspired. You have to love the story,
Yeah.
and then once you do that, you're in.
Yeah. Yeah, but this one doesn't need like for Shadi to be inspired because it inspired lots of uh, people, and it is. I said like it is the biggest success story in human history. So let's see.
I have a sense of what this is, but I'm not. I'm going to let this sit for a moment in my mind and just sort of cook it for a bit in my head because I think it relates to peace. But we'll see. Could we talk about the the ideas and the issue in this without having to say who it's about or what it's about?
Now, if we're gonna talk more, we're gonna you're
Okay.
gonna know what the
Okay, don't want to be a spoiler
I
here.
know what you're trying to do, but
Yeah, you know exactly what I tried to do. Okay, good, good, good. All right, so wait a minute. Let's make sure. Here we go, live chat. Ah, this is good because we talked about being grounded as a leader, and last week, previous weeks, and how you ground yourself through the storm or the difficulties. And so Peta is asking, and Peta, are you able to show us your lovely face today as you've done before so we can maybe engage a little bit more with you on this? Peta,
Professor
are you
Lon,
able to? Let's see.
I am
Yep,
sick
she's trying to
today.
get the microphone.
have a
Peta,
voice.
go ahead.
I'm sick. I hardly have a voice. I look a mess.
Hold on. Do you want to hit the? Okay, Peta. We may forget it. We'll go live chat.
Yeah, I'm sick. I barely have a voice. I look a mess.
Okay, so Peta, could you ask your question in audio, and we can keep this in total real time? Okay, and go ahead. And what's your question? And here you are.
Oh, yes. I'm
We
saying I'm
see
sick
you.
today. I look a mess. I hardly have a voice.
Okay, that's okay. Go ahead, Peta. What's your
But my
question?
question is what grounds you? It's a two-part question, and who inspires you? So what grounds you, one, and who inspires you?
So again, the inspiration. So the refugee issue, it was a big thing during like the past, like from 2010, I think. Um, as I say, I came from Syria, which is like everybody. I don't know if you guys knows what happened in Syria during the past like 14 years. It was a beautiful country, and then we went into that war thing, and just something I don't understand what happened there. But again, people from Syria, they start like going anywhere. Just they want to just run away from the war, and Syrians, like most of the Syrians, they are really good in doing business. And you can see it like all over the world. Like there's lots of examples of success story for Syrians businessmen. So these people, when they run away to other countries, they they went to places they don't understand the culture, they don't understand anything there. They just try to fit in, and they need time. And some people, they understand that. Like when I see someone coming to my country and just he doesn't know, like let's say he doesn't know how to drive, like the rules of driving, like you can't horn here like in Canada. But back in the Middle East, you can, like it's just normal thing to horn, and like it's not like an offending thing. But here, people, they don't do it. And
That's
you
why
feel like, wow,
Damascus
why are
is-
you hiring to me? I didn't do anything. So
That's why Damascus is noisy.
yeah, I know. And Damascus, Egypt.
Damascus is noisy.
Imagine Egypt, like Jonathan.
Cairo or
Yeah, Cairo. Jonathan, when he went there, it was his first time going to the Middle East. Our director, when the movie was like screening in that festival. So Jonathan, he told me, man, how the people living here, like it's the pollution, and he said like, and I see like everybody's horning and the police just standing there, and he said like when the police interfere, like everybody's driving, like you don't know how they are driving, and so what I mean, like when. Uh, uh, at that time, I felt like everybody were talking about the refugees and they are a burden, and why you guys like let these guys comes here and they're starting questioning their governments, and these people are affecting our economy. They are just like they are. You can hear it in the movie. They are like rats, and this one, it's an expression that just coming just to take from us. They are not delivering anything to our community. But with time, it shows that the people actually contributed our communities. Now I can, I can't even. There is more than 200 to 300 like success stories in Canada. In Ontario alone, I knew like more than maybe 30 businessmen. They did a really successful business generating millions of dollars. They are hiring lots of people. And yeah, at that time, I wanted with this movie, I remember we spoke, me and Jonathan, I told him, he was telling me like, you're gonna make money and you're gonna be, he said, man, like, I'm not worried about this. What I want to deliver, the most important, what I want to deliver, this movie will not make me rich. And I wanted to deliver that the Syrians, like just anybody like who's coming as a refugee, just if you uh, uh, send him to a place where he can work and he can do everything like freely, he will succeed and he will do a really good uh, in his life. And this is the message. And I want to show the world that Syrians, they are not a burden at that time. And also, I wanted to show that Canada is really good country to welcome people.
Yes.
And this is what I wanted to deliver from that movie. And of course, I don't mind some profit, but like this.
No, but I think this is very, very on target. Can you just freeze there for a second on this? Let's just hold that shot. Yeah, so we don't get too distracted on the video. We're now in the sort of final part of the class. We have about 5 minutes or so left. And we're fortunate that the conversation is now exactly where it should be, which is it's about the bigger meaning here of this film and why it was made in the first place. And so I just want to make sure that we have full attention right now from all of you online, and for those of you watching the recording too. It's important that you really understand what we're going to talk about now. Leadership is all part of this, but ultimately, if you're going to lead something, you have to be inspired and you have to be married to the idea and you have to love the idea. We've established that, right? That's clear? So we've also established that Shadi was the person that the director came to make the movie. So the movie could not have been made without Shadi, as humble as he is, and spreads the, it all around. The truth is, it wouldn't have been made. So this person sitting right here can help us to understand, well, what was that thing that I was married to that was beyond making money? He's just said that. Well, I'm going to suggest something. I think it has to do with something in the human being that is really, really important, that he wanted the world to know about. And for all of you, maybe you can reflect in a moment on what Shadi has to say in response to this question I will ask him. When you get involved in a project and you are going to lead it and you have to assemble a team or others are looking to you for decisions and you're the one responsible, will you be motivated just by making money? That's okay. We won't go down that road right now about the problems sometimes with that, which we're seeing play out in the American election. Look at Elon Musk and Donald Trump coming together. All they care about is money. Well, some technology, but ultimately it's power. How important was this idea of peace in wanting to communicate to human beings that humans will go anywhere for peace? That if my country is being wrecked by war, if a tyrant, we won't name the Syrian president right now, who's been there forever with his family, but if the country gets consumed by war and I want peace, what does that say about human beings? Did you really want to tell us how important peace is and that peace is possible, even when it seems like it's not?
Yeah, I don't want to go like into the politics things, especially what's happening now in the Middle East, and like my sympathies with the people there in Gaza and Lebanon, and actually the whole Middle East is just tearing apart now.
The idea of peace.
The peace, like, and that's why, like, most of the people now, they are like, when I go there, like, everybody, okay, can man, you get me a visa to come to Canada? Can we go to Canada? Like, lots of people they just want to just go to a place where they feel like, okay, now can live in peace. Like, I can, like, my kids, they can go to school. Like, I don't have to worry like something will happen to them. Yeah, it's really important, and I think that what happened with the Hadhad family when they flew from Lebanon, where there was war, and they were like living in a refugee camp, and they knew that there is no future here. And when they arrived here, they saw that the arms are open. Lots of immigrants, they come here now to Canada and just start talking about the weather, and it's cold, and it's like, and just like, take a minute, man, just go and think like why you came here in the first place. Okay, I come because I wanted to get the citizenship. The citizenship is not only a document that you are carrying. Now I feel okay. Now my kids can get the proper education I wanted for them, and I can, like, I can live with my family peacefully. I knew that no one will just come and attack me, or a missile comes to our area and just blow it all. And so yeah, it is for sure. It is important. To us, and that's why also Tariq, all the time, I think I've heard him talking during his one of his lectures. He was like saying like we have to be grateful to the area we are living in, especially when there's a peace there, and we have to try our best, if we have the influence, to affect other areas in the world, and just like make peace there somehow. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you then, what does chocolate mean? I mean, it's not just chocolate we're talking about here.
Yeah, of course.
You could have said, and many people do say, peace by faith, peace by religion, Peace by God or the gods. You didn't say that. It's peace by chocolate. So what does chocolate represent? I'm curious. What does chocolate represent in this movie? Astronauts at the end. So what do you think? And as a leader, what does chocolate mean?
Yeah, I think the chocolate here, like, represent like, maybe, I don't know, love, maybe, like, um, yeah, I think,
Maybe love. Ooh,
I
jeez.
had he asked that based off of everything that you said today. From what my understanding of what your chocolate represents to me is more like I just think like it's in the name, which is peace, because you said that you came at a time where your chocolate was trying you were trying to like bridge a gap where it's like people didn't want refugees in the country because they believed they're taking jobs or doing
Right,
things like
right.
that, right? And then he also wanted to show that Canada was a place where like opportunities and dreams come through. So I believe that that's what, from my understanding, that's what your chocolate signifies to me. It's like peace, trying to bridge a gap, communication. So trying to break barriers of like misunderstanding, where it's
Yeah.
like, yes, we might not be from here, because I'm not from here myself, so it might not be from here, but it doesn't mean that we can't still come here and add value and you know bridge that gap of communication barriers and learn from each other. Because now I believe that as your company, you're also, if I'm correct, you also like employ Canadians, right? Yeah, so it's like you've come here, you've been able to find refugee here. Now you're also able to provide, um, be like you're also able to provide jobs for Canadians.
Yeah.
So it's like that gap which you wanted to bridge is something you have accomplished, which is really inspiring. So I just wanted to say what
It's
it
great, yeah.
means to me.
nice, nice. So I think that,
ESSA. It's ESSA, right? Yeah, ESSA is maybe.
yes, yeah. So a great point. So I think what you bring is really important. Um, the question about what chocolate represent mean, it's important. I think chocolate is like, for each one of us, it's just like chocolate means different word in this movie. Like, it's according, I think, to our needs. Like, if you are a teenager, I think it will reflect some kind of, I don't know, I want to be here, I want to just show that I can do it, and like what Tariq trying to do in the movie with his father. Also, chocolate means to Isam is like more than just like a business. It's his. This is what his father used to do, and he's all his life, like he's working on this. So that chocolate means to Isam is different. What it's meaning to Tariq, and you can see it down the road. Like, I know that, I remember that Tariq, he told me, like, even I wasn't even, I don't like chocolate that much, and I don't like feel like very attached to it before he came to Canada, and now he's like it's he feels that this is the thing that I was missing. Like, so I think it's different for, like, for the generation and who's like seeing the movie. Yeah.
Go ahead. Just I just want to remind you, we're out of time. I'm just hold on a second. I want to make sure, because what matters more than anything is that we learn. together. Okay, so um, is it okay if we run a little, like 5 minutes more, and then are you
Fine.
okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. For all of you who have to go somewhere else, you may have to. It's okay if you leave. Don't worry about it. Okay. But we're gonna finish in 5 minutes. Give Vicky a chance, and give also Shadi a chance to say a few final words. But this is excellent insight that he's giving. And go ahead, Vicky.
Do you want to finish your thought? So I don't want to interrupt your.
I'm done.
You
I'm
good?
done. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, with Peace by Chocolate, like the word chocolate, I was also thinking in the movie like it's hope. It gave the family hope. Because I've heard like the acronym HOPE or Hold On, Pain Ends. So I'm like, thought the family's going through some painful times and having a hard time and stuff. But they were the chocolate was their hope. Like they were actually able to make a business just from chocolate. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
home.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things I was thinking it like that. Like,
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
There are many. Peta is saying that could the chocolate mean the thread that binds us all? And perhaps, Peta, it is if we sort of link it back to what Shadi said around love.
yeah.
That humanity, in what this global classroom is all about, this is where the story of humanity is explored in this space, past, present, and future. Global leader, we explore the present. Humanity is not just humankind. Humanity is the bond that unites us all as humans. And maybe that bond, to use a beautiful four-letter word, is actually grounded in love.
Mhm.
But it's hard to use that word today because, first of all, our culture is not very nice. Popular culture these days, it's quite savage, actually, when you go online and you see things.
It's scary.
And it
Like
can
I
be
was saying.
scary. It's corrosive. It's cold. It's all about many things, but love is not a word we hear
It's hard to
very
find.
much. But it's very important that maybe we respect that word now. Shadi mentioned it. I'm kind of reinforcing it. And Peta, I think, has helped us to understand its thread. Vicky, go ahead. Is there anything you want to add before we sort of wrap up a little? We'll come back to Essa. Yeah.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Good. Let's see that.
Anybody
Yeah,
else?
Essa, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so last thing I wanted to say was like when you came into the country as a refugee, you came with your family, correct?
So I didn't come as a refugee. Of course, I would be privileged if I came as a refugee, but I came as an investor. And I think I've been like in and out since 2001. But I came to live in Oakville in 2016, like with the family. Yeah. But what's your question?
Okay, so my question was going to be, but you started a business with your family.
Yeah, yes, and no, not with the family. I started myself, but like, of course, my wife, like, she's the support of everything I'm doing in my life. Yes, but I mean, uh, the refugee word. I think anybody like left his country, going to anywhere for any reason, he's a refugee. Like even if I came here as investor or whatever is like I came here because I left my country, my like people I used to like Syria, my life there, my I grow up in Syria, and when I leave Syria, coming to Canada, it's not something pleasant for sure, like at the beginning. But of course, maybe down the road, now I get used to it. Now, if I go to Syria, I don't feel like, okay, now I want to live here anymore. Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
don't know.
Yeah.
my question is going to be like, what's the to every like refugee that's coming to Canada, right, and that maybe wants to that's inspired by your story and that maybe wants to start their own business or start their own venture, whatever it may be, what's the biggest advice that you think you could give them that would help them stay on course as people who plan to be future leaders in the business field? Yeah.
The biggest advice, I'm going to get that down. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my biggest advice, like, I know it's like maybe a little bit different from the movie when we saw it, but I don't want, like, don't start, like, if you are good in something, let's say even with the chocolate, like, this is my advice. Of course, it works with Piece by Chocolate, but I don't feel that if you are good in something, don't start it right away. Just take a year or more, just studying the country, studying the environment around you. You have to learn a lot about the people, how they are thinking. Chocolate is something maybe universal, like everybody likes chocolate. But let's say there is something back home, a dessert or something, everybody's eating it in your home, back home. But here, maybe they didn't like it. So don't go and just, okay, now I'm going to start this because it's good and it will make me a fortune. And then you had some money and then you'll lose it. So I think the best thing is just take your time, a year or more, just learning more about the country. Of course, if you don't know the language, just try to study it very well, like what Tarek did, and then start your own business. There's lots of resources, and what I love about Canadians, they like to share even the business secrets with you. Somehow in our region, like in Syria, usually, like, the father, he bring his son and then he teach him what he have to do, and that's it. And he keeps it from everybody because he wants only him and the business to keep going. Here, like, when I wanted to start something here, and then I went to a guy and I told him, he owned the same company. I told him, man, how I was like trying to sneak to get some insight, and then this guy just like start telling me everything. Okay, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, and then you will be succeed. Said, is this guy stupid or what? And then it ends up that there is a room for everybody. Like, you can open a coffee shop here, Tim Horton, and then next door there is a Yemeni coffee shop, and it works. So and yeah, I think just ask people for help here in Canada, and just take your time before doing any business. And there is lots of resources. Till now, there is lots of people, they want to start their own business, and they don't know that they can get loans from government, and they can do the business with the loans. So, and they don't need to go and, okay, asking people, okay, can you lend me money, can you give me money, and then start problems happens. And that's why you need time. Just take your time before doing any business.
I got to get that into the note. And then, well, we have to finish, and we have to do one final thing, which is we have something for Shadi to give to him, to thank him from all of us today. And Mayreen, do you want to come? Yeah, we have just some flowers that we brought, and you can open them later. We just want you to know that from all of us here, we have made sure that we provide him with something to show a little bit of our, I hate to say this, a little bit of our love. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And can we give Shadi a great round, all of you, for what he's done? And let me just go right down, take your time. It's okay on learn about your environment. And then if there's anything you'd like to say, finally, to all of us, we're going to conclude. We would love to continue, but there's another class coming in here.
Yeah,
okay?
thank you, guys. Thank you very much for having me. And it was a great discussion. And yeah, it was the drive here. Yeah. Thank you, guys, and thank
Okay.
you, Mary. Thank you very
You
much.
can take your
Oh, thank you.
time. You are allowed in this world where everybody says there's no time anymore and everybody's moving very fast. You are allowed as a leader to take your time. Yeah, okay? And learn and learn and learn about where are you now? What world am I in now? And then go for it. Thank you, sir, for all of, just giving of yourself. And everybody, we're going to conclude now. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Okay, there's a break week next week. And I will be getting the marks back for your assignments and everything. And hopefully we'll see you again. Okay, take care, everybody. See you in 2 weeks. Okay, you got to run. We'll talk. Yeah, excellent. Okay. Yeah, let's get a picture for sure. As a matter of fact, come and we'll get all of us together with him. We're going to take a little picture of all the in-person students in front of the board, and we can then let him go. That's okay. Well, something we'll let. So come, gentlemen. Why don't you come? We'll have a little picture with our great guest today. Okay, and Mayrene's gonna. We want you in the picture too. Can it be a selfie or some kind of great selfie? Okay. So let me save things here. I'll save the live chat before it's lost. There it is. We're good. I will just for audio.